What's up, T?
What's up, D?
Hey, man, welcome back, man. Another episode of Movies with the Homies, episode number 10. Man, 10 big episodes. Hey, folks, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. All right, T, we got 6 topics to go through. A lot of these have already dropped in the news and everything, but we did want to kind of touch on to give everybody our perspective on what we think is about to happen. And let's start off with the first topic. And this is about Warner Brothers Discovery. All right. So the news dropped that Warner Brothers and Discovery have merged. And let me go ahead and bring up the article. I'm just going to kind of touch on it really. Where's the article? There we go. All right. So it says here Warner Media finalizes a $43 billion merger with Discovery. It will eventually combine HBO Max and Discovery Plus into a single streaming service. So I'm just going to read this first kind of paragraph just to discuss that. So it says here, Warner Media and Discovery have completed their merger. Warner Brothers Discovery, as the new entity is called, will eventually combine HBO Max and Discovery into a single streaming service. The blend of entertainment and reality programming could help Warner Brothers Discovery compete with the likes of Netflix and Disney Plus. In the meantime, the company will likely offer a bundle of the two services. Warner Media recently launched another streaming service in CNN Plus. All right, T. You hear news like that, right? You got two big brands, right? You got Warner Brothers, of course, the owners of HBO, and then you got Discovery, right? And then it even notices there CNN, another big Warner Brothers property. When you hear like a news like that in the media, what do you think? Like, is this going to be a big shakeup of, media in general, or are we talking about another nothing burger?
I think it's going to be a big shake, especially with the plans that they've unveiled. It seems like Discovery coming in has really unlocked. They're going to, I should say. It looks like at a suggestion, they're going to unlock the billion-dollar properties that they have. And it's really cool because it's almost as if they bought a Rubik's Cube and it was all jumbled up and they're trying to make the pieces right. So we're going to get the first side, which is blue, right? And it's coincidentally blue, right? We're going to get blue right. Then we're going to get red right. Then we're going to get
Right.
yellow, then green, and then orange. We're going to make everything good. And I'm very hopeful. I'm happy, not only for movies and entertainment, but I'm especially happy for what this will mean for the comic books. It'll make people want to invest more in the comic books and really get into the DC characters and make Warner Brothers be at the top again, just like they used to be.
Yeah.
It's a good day, especially you're always pushing their directors, but their writing has gotten a little bit it's fallen off as of late. But I'm happy to see that someone recognizes. Wait a minute here, we're basically sitting on like our own Star Wars, and we aren't doing anything about it.
Yeah.
So
Like that's one of the funny things that we had saw is that right off the bat they said, yeah, like DC, and we'll get to the DC overhaul piece in a minute, but right off the bat they said, yeah, we need to use DC a little bit better than what we've been doing with it. And that's giving a lot of DC fans a little bit of hope. Yeah, we're kind of like, whoo, thank you, because we've been waiting for kind of Warner Brothers to get off the snide and say, hey man, we're going to get after it and go hard with these DC properties, and maybe now with this merger and the shakeup, we're going to see that. But we'll get to that in a second. Here's a question that was posed on this particular article from the Motley Fool. Could Warner Brothers Discovery become the next Netflix? Okay. So it says here, and this is, more or less in regards to, stock trading and the money and all of that. But it says here, as a subsidiary of AT&T, Warner Media struggled to catch up to Netflix and the other streaming video leaders. But by spinning off Warner Media and merging it with Discovery, a fellow underdog in the streaming race, AT&T believed it could create a more streamlined company that wasn't beholden to its legacy telecom business. And we talked about this off the record. Remember, we were discussing the four networks, right? We always talked about the four networks when we were growing up, right? You had, CBS, you had NBC, you had ABC, and you had Fox, right? Those were like the big for networks. Now it seems like the four big networks have really changed into streaming services, right? You know, you had Disney Plus, you had Amazon Prime, you had Netflix, and then HBO Max. Okay, so but HBO Max seems like it was always the one kind of lagging behind, right? Amazon's got its Amazon Prime business, and you know it's kind of built into that, so that's like a separate thing. But they do put out pretty good programming, and a lot of people do say, "Hey, I'm holding on to this because I want to watch stuff like The Boys. I want to watch Jack Ryan. I like the movies that they offer." But now here comes AT&T, Warner Media merging in with Discovery. Do you think they will be able to start competing on a realistic level? Could we see prices start to drop? You know, because HBO Max is like $15 a month, very expensive. Could we see them starting to come down in price? What do you think? Can they become the next Netflix?
Well, HBO Max already has tiers, I believe, right?
Right, yeah, they got like the commercial tiers, yeah.
I think what we know, one thing I know this you didn't mention this, but Hulu had the best idea ever when they first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Hulu had every streaming service really on there, and it was just like a hub where it was one place where I can get everything. I might get it from some of the HBO, I might get it from this, I might get it. They were cherry picking. They've kind of gone away from that model, but I wish that there would be a central location for them to offer that.
Yeah.
Have it on demand. I wish they would work more with the cable companies so that you could see this, so everybody can get a piece of the pie. It's kind of difficult because they're having to deal with the fact it's a generational thing, right?
Yeah.
This generation, current generation, they're used to streaming. They got mobile access. Things are in their hand.
Right.
They're only trying to really look at an attention span of 2 to 3 minutes, right? You're gonna see 10-minute videos on YouTube and wherever. That's gonna go away eventually because people are like, hey man, their attention span is this much because people want to go because everybody's fighting for the in between space. I'm trying to fight for the commercial time, right? The commercial time in between my scenes and in between what I do, and whoever can master that and profit on it will make money. Netflix, I'm thinking that's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. What they do, they do a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Good for them. You know, people invest in them. They got a product that people believe in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Warner Brothers or this Discovery is going to do to put themselves apart to be this. Oh man, I gotta have it. You know what I mean? That price point puts them in a very bad position.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm not getting. What am I? I'm paying for something I can get easily on Hulu for $7, or I can get
100%.
somewhere else. I can go free on somebody's on the website. Like it's too much. I gotta pay $70 for the internet alone. Then I gotta pay another $60 for basic cable. Like it's just too much.
Yeah.
So I think they all need to just come down, because let's just face it, entertainment on these kind of platforms, like the platform we're on, and the platform that you see on Instagram and these other things, that's entertaining. People want to see each other because you know what? It's a way when I watch shows, it's an escape from reality. People, what are they going to do? Show me the plan that you're going to do that makes me escape from reality.
Right. Yeah. I 100% agree. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to compete with Netflix. They're going to have to change up what they're offering in terms of, you know, like content, you know, like they're going to have to push out content that the people are really looking for. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and get to the next topic. But folks, before we jump over to that, let me know what you think about this merger. Do you think that Warner Brothers Discovery, this new kind of media entity, is that going to be able to compete on a better level with the Netflixes and the Disney Pluses of the world? Go ahead, jump down in the comments, give us your thoughts on that. All right, T, we're going to move on to the next topic, and that's the one we were most excited to talk about, and it's these guys right here. Bam! DC. Okay, and we got the news, of course, that there was going to be an overhaul because, you know, Warner Media and, you know, Discovery linked up, right? And so there's been a whole lot of discussion. Fans are excited. You know, the moment I got the news, I shared it with you and you were like, yes, you know, it's about time. And let's go ahead and discuss this article right here. This is on IGN.com. New DC owners want major overhaul more movies like Joker, and a Kevin Feige like figure. All right, so like, you know, DC fans like you and I have been discussing this. We say, where's our Kevin Feige? You know, are you telling me that there's not a guy within the halls of DC and Warner Brothers that can step into that Kevin Feige role? And some folks say, well, we got Jeff Johns. Man, Jeff Johns doesn't get it done. We got Greg Berlanti. Like, no, 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 no. So there's a lot of guys. We had Zack Snyder, of course. Everybody said, well, Zack Snyder will be the guy. And for the most part, I think I enjoyed Zack's films, although I didn't necessarily think that he had the overarching vision. Right, I liked the Justice League that actually eventually got produced, but I didn't like his overarching, and I like Man of Steel. The other films in the DCEU are kind of hit and miss. But now, as it says here, with the Discovery Warner Media merger, the newly minted CEO David Zaslav is looking to overhaul DC and revitalize the brand for a new era. Yes. So here's what he says here. Let me get to that. Yeah, right here. Okay, so Zaslav has reportedly identified certain weaknesses in DC, like how the company left several top shelf characters such as Superman to languish. Yes, indeed. You know, and we've discussed this, right? You have a guy that practically looks like Superman in the flesh in Henry Cavill. What are we doing here? What's going on? Why aren't we jumping on that, right? He goes on to say that Discovery seems to believe that films like The Joker are a shining example of how second-build characters can become commercial and critical hits. Walter Hamada has stabilized the ship somewhat, and he did. You know, we got the Batman out of it. We got Suicide Squad out of it. We got the Peacemaker out of it. Got 2 Batman shows coming up, Penguin and Arkham Asylum. He's currently under the contract until the end of 2023. Maybe he hangs out. But, T, I want to get right to you, man, because you had a lot to say, and I know you want to go deep into this. What are you hoping for, man? Is this? Are we finally coming out? Are we going to see the end of the rainbow now? Are we going to see the light at the end of the tunnel at last with DC? What do you think?
Long and hard is the way that up through the darkness leads the light. All right. So, I'm very very happy with this, man. I'm so far so good. I know it's just the beginning steps. Told you, like we were talking about before we started. Hey, I would love to see this be the James effect.
Okay,
You
now break it down for the people, because me and you were talking about it. Break it down for the folks watching. What is the James effect?
The James effect is I would love to see James Wan and James Gunn co-parent this thing, because this is a brand new baby. This is a
Mm-hmm.
brand new baby, and you got to take care of it. You got to make sure you're not using Similac. You're using fresh, organic milk. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
and we got to use it on this because this thing has to grow, right? And we need it to be nurtured, right? It needs to be nurtured well. You already got Cavill. That's where it starts. Big Blue.
right.
Let Big Blue start this thing off, and then have the Trinity. Have the Trinity do it well, like you know how it is, and have this thing be crazy. We spoke before on a couple of it. I want to see the Watchtower. I want to see stuff. Give me something that puts me just. I'm just don't wait to the end. Don't surprise me then. Just boom, go right into it. You got stories. I want to see. I want to see Spectre. I want to see Rick Sergeant Rock. I want to see. I want to see Adam Strange. I want to
Oh
see
wow.
fantasy.
Yeah.
I want to see fantasy and detective comic book movies, mystery, lure. I want to see them go all out and put, let's see, 2 movies in 1 year. You know what I mean? Like, of a same character. Like, oh man, boom, I got him in March, and now I got him in October or November or December. Like, give me something.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the boom, boom. We've been waiting 2 years now. We're on hiatus, man. We need a lot of things. But I'd be totally excited to see James Gunn and James Wan run this thing. James Gunn, you take on superheroes. James Gunn, you take on the villains. I want to see that take. And they kind of already got that when you look at how they did the Peacemaker and Suicide Squad. You got James Wan, who's what? He's handling Aquaman, right? In the
Right.
Aquaverse.
Right.
Yeah, I never heard that before. The Aquaverse. Let's see that happen, right? I want to see them do the DC verse. Call it that. This is the DC verse. That's what we want to see, man.
All
On the
right.
big screen, fantasy, and then if you're gonna, if Big Blue's gonna head it, have the greatest super villain of all time, Lex Luthor. Let's see him be a mastermind.
I want to
Let him
see it,
see
man.
something where he's going in. Do it like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, where he's got this time machine and Elseworld reality where he's grabbing villains from other places. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, I only got 48 hours and I need you to get on this plan and come on with me. Bam, 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 bam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to see them in a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure type villains.
Okay.
Where they just going up and picking up people. Part 1 and part 2.
I mean, the ideas are going to be, the ideas for great DC films, it's numerous. Okay. You could go in any direction you want to go to, but you got to have direction, right? You got to have direction. And when you said that, when you talked about James Gunn and James Wan leading this thing, now I've always said James Wan myself. I felt like, okay, and I've said both at different times, but I've never thought about the two of them kind of teaming up together. I was like, that's genius. That is a genius move. Right now, James Wan is finishing up with Marvel, okay? He's going to do Guardians 3, and he's done. I think he's done, okay? Because James Gunn, yeah. Because I think after James Gunn is done with Guardians 3, he's going to jump in and start building out the stuff that he was doing for the Peacemaker. I know that he's supposed to be doing a series with the second character, someone else off of the Suicide Squad. I don't know if it's going to be Ratcatcher 2 or if it's going to be not Deadshot, Bloodsport. I don't know who he's going to choose for that other, character that he's spinning off, but I'm all for it. After the Peacemaker, I'm here for anything that James Gunn is doing with DC, right? But I always felt that James Wan, because he had already built out a universe in The Conjuring, he also was very instrumental in building out that Saw franchise, right? The original Saw franchise. This guy has franchise, he has universe building, he's done it, right? He's already got that in his back pocket. So to me, it made sense. Hey, let him have, full reign of whatever it is that he wants to do. But when I heard your idea, I was like, oh yeah. Oh, that makes all the sense in the world. You put the two of these two together, great minds, just they'll collaborate, they'll figure this thing out, and I guarantee you, man, that would blow away anything that Marvel has done. If the two of those get together and they say, okay, now let's get Cavill back. All right, Cavill, we got you. We're gonna just go ahead and just keep going. Man of Steel 2 or whatever we'll call it, whatever we're gonna do, we're just gonna go ahead and take off with it and get Cavill. Figure out what they want to do with Wonder Woman, right? Figure out what they want to do with the Wonder Woman. And then, Matt Reeves is doing his own separate kind of Batman thing. That's over there, okay? Batman, he's doing his own separate thing. So we're going to bring a Batman into this particular universe. And now we got our Trinity, okay? And then once we get the Trinity, we build from there, okay? Then you start getting into the Justice League. Then you start bringing in the characters. We still got Aquaman in the mix. We bring him in, like you were saying, the Watchtower. Okay, let's get up there. Let's bring in Martian Manhunter. We can fill this thing up to the brim with great DC shows.
Wonder Woman is a badass. I want to see her be a
badass. Right.
She's a freaking Amazon warrior. Freaking, come on, man. And I want to see.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
I want to see Big Barda in the DCEU, in the DC verse. I want to see Big Barda.
Okay.
I want to see Granny Goodness. I want to see.
Oh, I want new gods. I want new gods to the fullest, man. I want new gods. I want Orion. I want Darkseid. I want Calabac, obviously Calabac, Graven. I want to see all of these guys from the new gods. I want to see Mr. Miracle. I want to see everybody. I want that. We remember Ava DuVernay was supposed to do that. Nobody was going to go for that. I want to see this blow up. I want to see them go deep into the DC lore. Hopefully, crossing my fingers, they figure this thing out and they take it to the next level. But yeah, James could do it. DC, Warner Brothers Discovery, are you listening? Are you paying attention? All right, we got the ideas right here. Take those two guys, sit them down at a table, blank checks. There you go. and you will make a million. You will make a mint off of them two dudes.
Have the new gods interrupt Black Adam. Have the new gods interrupt Shazam. Oh, these are the old gods. Hit the new gods. Like, do that.
Yeah.
Do that, dude. Talk about. I forgot what it's called in the. And I'm in agreement with you. The new gods. I would love to see that, dude, because that's such a. It ties the whole universe together.
Absolutely.
And you need it. It explains so much.
Absolutely. All right, but folks, what do you think about this DC overhaul? Who would you like to see sitting at the top in the Kevin Feige role at DC? Is it James Gunn and James Wan, or is it somebody else? Do you have somebody else in mind? I think our ideas, anything would take off like a rocket ship. But yeah, go ahead, jump down in the comments, give us your thoughts on that. All right, T, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. All right, and next up, we got Moon Knight back again. All right, we didn't do an episode 2 rundown, so we're going to combine episodes 2 and 3 into this, and we'll just kind of start off with this. Says here, Moon Knight episode 3. Sorry about the ads, folks. Moon Knight episode 3 Easter egg cleverly references another Marvel series. So I'm just kind of using this just as a backdrop, just to kind of discuss the recap of Moon Knight. By the way, there are spoilers in this, folks. So if you haven't seen Moon Knight, I'm just going to read through this little quick spoilery kind of discussion so that we can just talk about the episodes. But Mark Spector searches for Ammit's tomb and Arthur Harrow in Moon Knight episode 3. Unfortunately, Arthur finds Ammit's tomb before Mark can stop him. As a last-ditch effort, Khonshu calls a meeting with the rest of the Egyptian gods, and Mark meets other avatars. They gather inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, and Mark and Khonshu try to warn the other gods that Arthur intends to free Ammit. Unfortunately, the gods summon Arthur, and he repeatedly denies the accusations. The cult leader also paints Mark as a madman, so the other gods believes. And then, you know, it kind of ends with, let me see, where does it end at? Yeah. I'm not going to go through a complete rundown of this, T, because I'm going to say this about Moon Knight. It's interesting, but I don't know if it's good, okay? I don't know if it's good yet. We're halfway through the season. There's been some fun fight scenes. There's been some very interesting fight scenes. I think episode 2 is still the better episode. And you know, I'm not sure if you would agree with that, but I think episode 2 is the best episode so far. All right, we got the hat out. All right, so T's about to get on his soapbox and do some politicking. So, but let me just finish with this. It's a good enough series, right? It's a good enough series, but I don't know if it's good, you know? It'll do. It's kind of feeling like it's giving me a lot of those Hawkeye vibes, right? Where it's just there and it's a good series and you can watch it. I'm not exactly intrigued. Now, like I said, from episode 1, I wanted to binge watch this thing. I just wanted to hey, I'm just going to binge watch it. But, you know, because we do a show, I'm going to just kind of keep up with it and see what's going on. But it's not grabbing me like I hoped it would. Episode 2 was pretty good, but episode 3 was just kind of like, you know, shrugging your shoulders, and you keep going with it. T, real quick, give me your thoughts. Moon Knight as a show overall. I know you're about to do some politicking. You got your Uncle Sam hat on. Go right ahead.
Let me just reach into my hat, because clearly there's something in it, right?
Right.
Oh, nothing. There's a nothing burger. This is a nothing burger of a show. I'm not interested in this show at all right now. Even if I were to watch 1, 2, and 3 together, it's nothing. You know what this is? This is a little bit stronger. This is X-Men Apocalypse with freaking a little bit of P90X. It's not good. I'm not interested in this thing. It's so boring and confusing. Who's driving? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? How is this helping me? How is this helping me evolve as a Marvel fan? I'm devolving. Come on, man. What is this going on?
T, it's not that it's just poorly. I don't know if it's poorly paced. Like I said, there's a story there that's interesting, but they're just not getting to it. They're just, I know at the end of this, we got 3 episodes left. I'm pretty sure episodes 4, 5, and 6 are about to just blow the doors off of this thing.
What was the purpose of 1, 2, and 3? What did that establish? Okay,
we got the dissociative identity disorder. We know that he's dealing with Egyptian gods and Khonshu. We know that he jumps in and out. He has these powers. But in terms of we know information. That's what I'm saying. It's interesting because we know information about who he is, but it's like I don't really care. It's like I haven't been made to care yet. And the thing about it is bad is Oscar Isaac, I think, is doing a great job playing his different identities.
He got 2 or possibly 3 different personalities, and he can't get health care. Somebody go get some mental awareness here. What is going on? You can't use EAP. What is going on here? This is a nothing burger of a. You know what this is? This is constant confusion. Why do I care about this character? This is a nothing burger of a freaking story, dude. It doesn't make. What was the purpose of that last episode? He's crazy. Oh, he was crazy in episode 2. Oh, and these people just conveniently pop up out of nowhere. Oh, guess what? Boom, I'm here. Boom, I'm here. I'm here to save the day. What? This makes there's no consistency in this.
I don't know if it's, like I said, I'm hesitant to just really, I'm hesitant to really condemn the show completely. I do think that there is going to be something, like I said, it might. But I think going back to Hawkeye, this feels like Hawkeye to me. This feels like it's not as bad as, Captain or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's not as bad as that one. It has moments. It has good moments. Really good fight scenes, good choreography. What Kevin Feige was talking about, like we're going hardcore with the blood and everything. I'm just like, it's not really it's not Daredevil level. So I'm not sure where he was going with that. Well, go ahead.
I can go to Disneyland. I can see Marvel. like I don't know what Disney's whole thing is against blood. Being like when you watch Star Wars, they getting shot with a phaser beam, and I guess the wound is being cauterized. But what is happening here? You change the entire way the Earth sees something, and nobody says, "Hey, man, that might be setting it off." What do I do here? These anomalies that superheroes are supposed to be watching aren't watching.
Yeah. I like I said, man, I don't disagree. There's something missing in the story. I think it's just like they haven't the stakes really. They've established the stakes, right? Okay, we know what the stakes are. If this guy Arthur gets what he wants.
Terrible in this.
Who?
Ethan Hawke is terrible.
I think he's actually doing all right. I wouldn't say terrible. But I need to feel the weight of the stakes, and so far it's just kind of kept down. So I'm hoping episode 4 delivers a little bit better in terms of stakes instead in terms of interest. But
409. Do you have any 409 degreaser? Because I have totally thrown tomatoes at my screen because this thing is so bad. It's bad.
Well, a lot of folks out there, let's go ahead and get to that. A lot of folks out there really enjoying this. Folks, do you think Moon Knight is doing the job? T and I don't think this is.
Give it a thumbs up. Dare you?
I think some people out there are really liking this. I'm not sure why, but
you better check your thumbs.
All right, folks, go ahead and jump down in the comments. Let us know what you think of Moon Knight so far. I'm not feeling it, but maybe you are. Go ahead and let us know what you think. All right, T. All right, man, we're gonna move on to the next topic. All right, so here we go. This one is Black Adam. All right, and we just recently heard, just after the DC little overhaul news dropped, we heard about some reshoots coming up. All right, and you wanted to talk about this, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring this article up. This is from comicbook.com. Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam set to begin reshoots soon. All right, so it says here, let me get this little ad out of there. There we go. So it says here, Warner Brothers and DC Comics Black Adam film recently got pushed to the fall along with the other bunch of superhero shows or films from the studio. Now it seems that makes sense for the change as Dwayne Johnson and company are headed towards reshoots. According to Atlanta Filming on Twitter, Black Adam will begin reshoots really soon. And it says here, Oh, while I'm telling you stuff, Black Adams has reshoots soon. Still annoyed that it was so damn hot the one day they were called or they were on location in Atlanta that I bailed on the Chattahoochee set. They filming in Chattahoochee. How about that? Anyway, Black Adam star teased how Black Adam will take on the anti-hero. Johnson detailed how the hero will have a chip on his shoulder and blah, 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 blah. All right. Reshoots. Are reshoots always bad? No. Sometimes reshoots are necessary. In this case, I believe, I don't know if it's in this story or not. I don't think it is. It isn't. But looking into other articles, I saw that, okay, they were responding to some audience, right? They're responding to some audience feedback. And they said, okay, I don't know if that means they want to add a little bit more of what is good or if they want to remove something that was bad and replace it with something else. T, you wanted to talk about Black Adam. Tell me what you got to say.
I think this movie is trash.
I knew you was going to say that. T, you think every movie is trash.
I told you this movie was going to be trash. I was like, D, where is the Super Bowl spots for this? Oh, man, they got nothing, dude. Because he's been talking about this and talking about this and talking about it. And when it was time for the delivery, what? They pushed it back. Because this movie is trash. I bet you this movie has no story. I bet you it has no story. It either has story, barely any action, or action and no story. It can't be both. It cannot be. If they're doing reshoots. This is a movie that's been in the planet for 4 freaking years. 4 freaking years. You got Dwayne, what? Did we have to wait for Dwayne Johnson to free up his schedule? He's making bad movies like Skyscraper and Rampage. and Hans and, what was that? Hall and Oates? Whatever he made.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw. Come on, man.
You forgot the Jungle Cruise.
Look, I'm all for the DC. Hey, I am a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
My first love in comic books was DC. But damn it, if it's one company that knows how to screw up things, it's you. And this thing, first of all, you got this dude who's an anti-hero. So he's DC's version of Venom. I don't want to see that. I want to see him being a badass villain.
I think he is going to be a villain. I think he's going to be a villain. He says it here. He has the ability. It says here he has the ability to be a hero, an anti-hero, and a villain. One of the things that drew me to Black Adam is his origin. He started out enslaved. Anytime you have a character, a human who's been a human being who has wrongfully been held down by others, it means so much more than when they rise up. So he's connected to this. He understands who this villain is, all right? And I think he will be more villainous than heroic, although there will be some heroic stuff that's going to kind of save him. You know what I mean? But let's talk about the reshoots. I understand that you want to get in deep about
when is it coming out?
It's October
this year?
There's time, all right? This is still April, right? So we got 6 months until this film comes out. There's enough time to do some reshoots.
You see a trailer drops out about now.
No, normally for an October film, you probably get it maybe 3 months ahead of time. You could have a teaser. That's true. You could have a teaser, but I think about 3 months ahead of time is a good time. Nah, come on, T, don't get crazy on me now, man. 3 months is a solid enough time to ramp up for a movie.
What's next month?
It's Doctor Strange.
What's next month?
May.
Huh?
May. We're gonna see Doctor Strange.
Just like you ain't seen no trailers for Top Gun.
We have seen trailers for Top Gun.
Old man movie.
We have seen trailers. Wait. We've seen a lot of trailers for Top Gun. As a matter of fact, there was a trailer for Top Gun when I just what movie? Ambulance. When I went just to see Ambulance.
I'm talking about on the television screen.
Oh, shoot. I don't watch TV like that, so I don't know.
I ain't seen it on my magical box that I'm on right now. I ain't seen it either, so it don't exist. Just like this thing being good, Black Adam is probably not gonna be good.
Okay, so what does that say about Thor? Thor's coming out in December or July. What does that say about Thor? We haven't seen anything on Thor. We've at least seen a smidgen of stuff for Black Adam.
Sir, the thing what I will give about Thor has history. Thor has history. Black Adam does not have history. He does not have history on the big screen. On the animated scene, yeah. But on the big screen, he has no history. So he has to establish something. When you push a movie back and it's your first movie, we see how that worked for Black Widow. We see how that worked for Morbius. We see how that even worked for Venom. Stop pushing these things back. They're not good. You need to ask, hey Marvel, what are you doing well that we're not doing right?
I think I think with Black Adam, the reshoots, like I said, let's talk about the reshoots. The reshoots are going to fix something or add something. Either that's one of the, it's either or, right? Either they mess something up, all right, we got to fix this because that didn't resonate with the fans, or hey, the fans said we like this, do more of that, and then we'll give them another scene. And that'll help, kind of, boost up this film, make it a little bit better. That's what I've heard. Okay, I read that. I forgot where I saw that, but I read that on another site.
Good reading, brother. You got some really good reading.
But T, honestly, reshoots are, I think every film does reshoots. I think it's pretty much standard in the industry for all films to go through some kind of reshoot process. So it's not the end of the world. I'm just trying to talk you off the ledge, bro. It's not the end of the world when a film does a reshoot. Now, hey, DC.
This is my boy Jeremy. Hey, what's all the hubbub about? Huh? What's all the hubbub about? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, this thing isn't really good. Hey, a little hot here. Hey,
Jeremy don't always know what he's talking about. But let's keep going, folks. What do y'all think about these Black Adam reshoots? I feel like, hey, I think they're going to improve the film. They're going to make the film better. T is skeptical. He thinks this is proof positive that this thing is trash. Go ahead and jump down in the comments.
I'm a little worried, guys. I'm just a little worried that, I just need some more consistency, but
I agree. More consistency from DC would be phenomenal. Okay. All right, folks. Let me know what you think in the comments. Jump down below. And T, let's move on to the next topic. All right, let's get back. Next topic. All right, now another one in the rumor mill, and this one's about this guy, big villain, right? Dr. Doom. Oh man, that's like one of my favorite villains of all time. And yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and read through this because this is from the Mary Sue. Will Dr. Doom be in Black Panther 2? Here's everything we know about the rumors. All right. So it says here it has a release date of November 22nd. And it's saying, we might have a little bit of Dr. Doom in here. It says for so little information being released so far, a lot of the details about the project are still a mystery. Take, for instance, the rumor about Dr. Doom making an appearance. Is that true? Will Doom make his MCU debut in the new Black Panther? Here's what we know. All right, so it goes into this report and actually comes from Collider, little channel we used to watch, right? Says here, both Wakanda and Atlantis, right? So it's talking about Namor, all right, Submariner. Says both Wakanda and Atlantis are hidden civilizations with advanced technology and increased militaristic abilities that decided to separate themselves from the rest of the world for their own safety and in a way out of fear. Wakanda feared that their technology would be abused. Atlanta feared that the surface dwellers would come and desecrate the mystical city, just as they did many years ago, and so on and so forth. However, rumors of the power spread throughout the world, and Namor's human father was sent searching for a rare... I skipped it. I'm sorry. It's talking about vibranium, right? Okay, so it says Wakanda is the only country in the world with access to vibranium, and it says Namor's father went searching for this. All right, so it goes here. Who is Victor Von Doom? And it kind of discusses Dr. Doom. It says here he's one of the most intelligent people on Earth. He's mastered both science and sorcery, meaning that his powers are on par with heroes like Tony Stark and Stephen Strange. All right, so that's Dr. Doom. How does he fit within the Black Panther connection? What's the connection for Black Panther with Dr. Doom? So it says it started with a post in bleedingcool.com, which has since been deleted. Of course, they always delete stuff. And usually when they delete stuff, I automatically say, yep, it was probably true. But it said, according to this rumor, Doom's role is very minor, as the film or the movie uses him to imply that the war between Wakanda and Atlantis was down to Doom's interference. So that's going back to the previous article that we had just discussed from Collider, that somehow Dr. Doom is connected between Wakanda and Atlantis, probably using some of their technology, probably trying to get into their kind of stories. And I'm interested because I don't know how they're gonna bring Dr. Doom into the MCU. They got the character now. Now it's time to bring them in. They have the Fantastic Four kind of still sitting on the sidelines. And I know that they plan on getting to the Fantastic Four eventually, but I think it would be interesting to bring Doom in a little bit earlier to really establish who he is, make him a more menacing figure. Hopefully, he's like the Thanos of this particular segment of Marvel films. You know, maybe he's going to be the guy that they got to take down at the end of Phase 6. What do you think about Doctor Doom stepping into Black Panther? Is this a good time to bring him in, or should he kind of float in another story?
Yeah, I think it's a great time for him to come in. I think the more they can expand their universe, they've had some missteps here.
Mm-hmm.
Misstep with Shang-Chi, a misstep with Eternals. And I think that anything they can do to salvage what they have, they've already got established properties. Again, they have history, character that you'd be introducing. He has history, although it's not been with
Yeah.
Disney. But we'd like to see him done right, and hopefully, I'm confident that this will be. I'm all for it, man. They've got a lot to make up, obviously, because of Chadwick Boseman being passing away, and you've got a new iteration of what we don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
We have an idea, but that's just a rumor, right? But I think they've got to, because he's gone, you've got to pad it in with things like this. So I've got no other choice but to think this is okay, because I know eventually it may lead to the Fantastic.
I think the Fantastic Four is going to be the next, like big film outside of what, like from the new characters that are coming in. Like you said, Shang-Chi didn't really hit like they wanted it to. A lot of people like it. I'm not saying it's a bad film at all, but it just
Oh,
didn't
it's a
hit.
bad.
Okay, well, I think it's an okay film. I'm not blown away by it.
No, it's a bad. It's
I
such
thought
a
that the
great film, and
Eternals
they made a bad film.
I thought the Eternals was a huge, huge, huge step back. There was nothing to me that was really enjoyable about that film, so I thought that film was a huge misstep. I haven't liked much of their shows, and so they need a Doom to kind of step in here and kind of energize everybody. I think you're absolutely correct. At this point, with everything that they've done so far, Doctor Doom stepping in Black Panther that would be an amazing, amazing show, a moment for the MCU. You're introducing a major mega villain that can come in and really do some damage like immediately, but they're just talking about like kind of stepping in, just discussing them. Maybe he has an appearance and then he's just gone. I'm not sure how they would use him, but to me, Doctor Doom is your next Thanos. That's how I look at him. He's the next Thanos. He's something that'll give everybody problems. Like they said, he's kind of a combo of Tony Stark and Doctor Strange. He's going to make a lot of problems for the MCU. So I hope that they have good plans for him. And if they can bring him in early, and then now you have the Fantastic Four coming behind him to kind of salvage and rescue, what's going on. I think that's how you can bring the Fantastic Four in. Start off with Doom. He's the villain. Fantastic Four has to be the ones to stop him. And now you can kind of combine that with the other Avenger characters or whoever else you want to throw into that and really make it for, another big Avengers movie. I'm thinking, they'll probably eventually, I think eventually they're going to get to Secret Wars. And that's how you can bring all of that stuff and tie all of that stuff together. So I don't know. Any last thoughts on that?
No, no. I mean, you basically wrapped up what I was already thinking. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's that waiting period. Okay, let me wait and see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be pessimistic about this, only because yeah, I want them to do well. The more they do well, the more it'll push others to do well.
I agree. All right, folks. What do you think about Doctor Doom showing up in Black Panther 2? Go ahead and jump down. Let us know what you think. All righty, T. And let's go on to the last and final topic. All right. And this one is one you wanted to talk about. And I have absolutely nothing to say about this one. This is about Javicia Leslie and not Javicia Leslie. What's her name? Leslie Grace. Sorry. And Batgirl. All right. So it says here, Batgirl's Leslie Grace teases early discussions about the sequel. All right. So it says here, and this is on the playlist.net. While the future of other Bat family members like Robin and Nightwing on the big screen is up in the air, the DCEU will see Leslie Grace play Barbara Gordon in Batgirl, starring alongside J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon from Justice League, and Michael Keaton's incarnation of Bruce Wayne. Keaton is going to be reprising his role, of course, as he'd made famous from the two Tim Burton films, seemingly becoming the main version of Batman in this corner of the DC Comics franchise. It looks like even before the film releases on HBO Max, another installment might be on the horizon. All right, so you wanted to discuss this one. What do you got to say about Batgirl, T?
I gotta say that I'm not a Batgirl like enthusiast like that, but I'm okay seeing this, see what happens. Of course, you won't get raw like action and adventure. I think she really plays well with other characters with her, but we'll see what happens. That's why they're bringing in what they're bringing in not Supergirl. They're bringing in other characters to obviously try and make it, fill it in because it's just not believable. This 5'6" or 7" woman beating up a 6'2" burly man, unless she has mace or something else. Not saying that her character is fantasy, but I think when they're confident about this movie and she's saying, yeah, there's going to be a number two, which is great. I like girls seeing them have a character that they can, feel good about. She doesn't have power. She's grounded. She's got to use her smarts. She's Batgirl. You know what I mean? She's got to figure it out along the way, and she's got a team of people to help her through that. I like that, man. I like this character. I always have liked the character. Like I said, I'm not an enthusiast about it, but that doesn't mean I can't change my mind, good or bad. I'm willing to give this a chance, like it deserves.
Okay. And I'm not saying that I'm not a Batgirl fan. I'm not even close to that. But what's interesting to me is that they could already jump to a sequel. They haven't even made the first one yet. It's like, wait, we doing this again? How many times have you seen this? Remember this with like what was it? There was like the Monster Verse or the Dark Universe or something with Universal, where they had like this whole lineup of movies that they was about to bring out, and then the first one comes out and absolutely bombs, like the Mummy or whatever it was. It was a complete trash, and then they're like, all right, well that's it, and they just scraps the whole thing. It's like, let's start just doing this one thing at a time, because we've seen DC do this too. Oh, we're gonna bring out a Nightwing movie. I've been waiting on a Nightwing movie forever and a day. That was back in like 2013, 14, right around the same time that Man of Steel dropped. Like, DC's got to stop doing this, man. Stop talking. Go ahead.
Just think about this, man. Just think about this.
All right.
This is a character we haven't seen in a solo project on our own.
Yeah.
I'm confident that this is going to, they're not in this to lose. This is this is like Earth 222. You know what I mean? That's the great thing about DC and their imagination. They have plenty of different like Earths where this person could have came from. You're gonna have J.K. Simmons in this. J.K. Simmons is not on
what'd you say? J.K. Simmons
in this. You're not signing on something trash.
Oh, he's not signing on for trash.
Right. This is gonna give him the flexibility in the room to create the space that he needs for his character establishment, man. We've had great Jim Gordons, dude. Great Jim Gordons here lately. I'm confident that this thing is going to make it. Do you hear me saying? Me of all people.
I'm kind of surprised to hear you say that too, but nevertheless, I don't, like I said, I'm hoping it does well. I'm not cheering for it to lose, but like, I just don't want like their eyes are always bigger than their stomach. They're always saying, oh man, this is about to be the big, and then it just turns out like, oh my God.
They're not saying this here. They're not saying this
here. They're making a sequel. They're already planning the sequel.
You know what they're making a sequel? Because they're going to introduce whatever they got planned in the sequel. They're going to introduce, it's going to slow play. Hey, maybe a Robin, maybe a Batman, maybe you're going to bleed it in with something, man. They have to, dude. They're not going to just make this movie and be a total flop, dude.
Well, I mean, this is the same studio that made Birds of Prey. All right, let's just start with that. Number one, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about, folks. This is the same group that made Birds of Prey, okay? And whereas Birds of Prey, some people liked it, some people didn't like it. We saw what it did in the box office. It wasn't pretty, okay? So what I'm saying is, if you're going to start setting things up, okay, I would like them to see them do something like this. Okay, we're gonna make a Batgirl movie, and then after we're done with Batgirl, you know, we're planning like I always wanted, a Gotham City Sirens. We're gonna do Gotham City Sirens, okay? We're gonna bring old Margot Robbie. Hey, Margot, come on, let's go. We're gonna do.
I'm tired of her.
Listen to what I'm saying. Hear me out. We're gonna get your Catwoman. Okay, we're gonna get us a Catwoman. We're gonna get us a Poison Ivy. We're gonna give us a Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and then they're gonna be the villains. And then we got Batgirl, you know, Leslie Grace, trying to take them down.
She's gonna turn into Oracle,
and then she becomes Oracle. What, you know? That's what they need to do. They need to move along in a direction like that. But don't just announce a sequel to Batgirl. You know, I don't think that makes sense, or even hint at a sequel. I would say the sequel really is, okay, we're going to Gotham City Sirens. We're going to kind of lead into a situation where then we could do the Birds of Prey properly, right? Now you could go and do an actual Birds of Prey with a real Oracle instead of whatever that was, you know, where we're just throwing characters in and calling it the Birds of Prey. It's like, no, do it the right way. You know, we have books and comic books that have set this all up. All you got to do is just follow the bouncing ball. But sometimes DC, you get a couple of guys saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and do this and do this," and next thing you know, it's like, "Oh, Birds of Prey flopped." Oh, okay. No, really, no kidding, huh? Yeah, we saw that coming. Okay, so that's my point. That's the only point I'm making. You know, you do this.
I totally agree. I'm in agreement with you on the skepticism of things. We both thought Birds of Prey was terrible, doing a waste of time. I know what you're saying as a fan. Don't make me go watch this and it's terrible.
Right.
But it's coming on HBO Max. The sequel is going to lead to probably being actually in the theaters. I think this is going to do well because they've got time. This is not coming out until what, next year?
Yeah, it's coming out. Let me see if it got it. Yeah. I don't think it's in here, but yeah, it's coming out next year, I believe.
Coming out next year, right? I think in January of next year, it's supposed to come out on HBO Max, which is a little bit scary because you're like, wait a minute, you guys have been working on this since 2020. What's the problem here? I just think that some of the effects that have happened around a couple of other movies, namely, right, you know, something that's quick, is it's just it's scary because we've got to push through. We got to push through what we currently have and get past it. But once we're out of this quarantine of movies, it'll be a brighter day for DC. And I think you know what? It's funny that I would say brighter day because we haven't heard anything about
Green Lantern. Where's Green Lantern at? We supposed to have Green Lantern Corps. There's a lot of that, but that's my point. But you see my point now, T. They always saying we're about to do whatever. You know, they always announce stuff, right? And then what happens? They pull back. It don't happen. Like Green Lantern Corps, that thing was, I don't know, maybe 2016, 2017. Oh yeah, we're going to have a show. It's going to be great. Or we're going to do this and do that. And then we're just sitting around. It's just the waiting game, you know? And it's just like, and they ultimately never get to it. But then you get...
Supposed to do Lobo.
We're supposed to do Lobo. Yeah. So that's all. That's my reservations on it. But I hope that whatever happens with this Batgirl, I hope it's great. Okay, that's my number one thing. I hope it's great. I hope it makes me interested to really get invested into the character. Because, like I said, I've never been a Batgirl fan. She's an okay character. She's fine. It's nothing that I've ever been like, oh man, the latest Batgirl comic, TV show, cartoon. She's in this. She's in that. I can't wait. I've never been that person.
You remember Viva Vendetta, D?
I do.
And I know we got to wrap up here. You remember Viva Vendetta? Remember one of the great in the movie where he passed his name? What was his name? The guy who passed away.
Who?
He was in what was his name, man? He was in Aliens, dude. The popped out the chest. What was his name? What's the actor?
Oh yeah,
Hellboy guy.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name right off the bat. But yeah, what about him?
He said in the movie, he said, "Hey, they need to remember why they need us. They need to remember that." And I want people to remember why they need DC. That's all I gotta say.
All right, cool. All right, folks, what do you think? Do you think that Batgirl is ready for a sequel talk yet? I mean, they haven't even dropped it, but they're already talking about sequels. Are they ready for sequel talk? And what if they do some sort of a sequel? What should they do? Should they try to bring in a Gotham City Siren so they can repair the mess that they did with Birds of Prey? Or okay, T, sure. Or should they do something else? Just a straight Batgirl film? Go ahead, jump down in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right, T, that'll do it. Movies with the Homies, episode 10 is in the books. I want to definitely thank you for showing up, helping out with that. Any last words? I know that there's some football going on right now, right? You was really excited about that. You know, USFL.
Yeah, USFL, man. Check it out, man. Stay tuned. Hey, Black ESPN is gonna be coming on the way, man. I want y'all to check it out. Get some merch, man. We got some TV. We got some shirts. We got everything you want, man. Check it out, man. It's a new take on things, man. It's coming your way, man. We build this slowly but surely. Hey, it's your kind of views for your kind of show, man.
There
Something
we go.
different other than these damn gossip games you see on the other channel.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to that, T. I'm waiting for your channel to drop so that we can start doing some collaborations on the sports stuff. All right, folks. But that'll do it for me. I want to thank you guys for watching and tuning in. If you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button. I see a lot of the guys coming in here, building up the family, and really appreciate that. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.